Hey everybody, it's Angela here with Porch Farmstead. I'm just wanting to bring you guys some information about sweet potatoes today. So sweet potatoes are actually one of our favorite, if we're gonna have like kind of a really carby dinner, and I'm just wanting something that's gonna be really delicious and a little bit sweet, we'll do sweet potatoes. We actually prefer sweet potatoes to like Idaho potatoes, like regular russet potatoes, just because they have a little more flavor and a much higher nutrient profile. So, little known fact, sweet potatoes are a tropical plant. So they're really ideal for the South's long, warm season. So we are here in central Georgia. It is so warm and our season is so long that sweet potatoes are ideal. They're also a little bit drought tolerant. So as our summer heats up, we get dry, even though it's always real humid. So they did great last year when we had that really long dry spell. So other thing that's really cool about sweet potatoes is if you've ever seen them grow, they take over with their foliage. And all that foliage, those new younger leaves are really delicious. You can use them as greens. So they're a great sub if your greens have kind of bolted in the garden and you just want something to mix in like a cooked greens type of thing. So those leaves are edible, and it helps you kind of keep them trimmed back if you're having a really big issue with your sweet potatoes taking up your garden. So also, little tidbit here, I'm gonna take you guys out to the garden and show you what was left of our sweet potato patch last year. But sweet potatoes take about 90 to 110 days, depending on the variety, from going from a slip to harvest time. So I know I personally, the first few years we did them, I didn't know when it was, because I always was told you look for the purple flower and then X many days after that. But the first year we had a great success with our sweet potatoes, we missed those little purple flowers. We were out of town the week that those purple flowers came out, and we only had the one variety that year, so they all came kind of at the same time. And we ended up finding massive behemoth kind of sweet potatoes, and it was a success. We only needed like one sweet potato to feed the whole family, but it was one of those things where had I known better, I could have done better. But I'm going to take you guys out to the garden and show you our little sweet potato experiment from this last winter. See you there. All right, like promised, we're out here in the garden, and I wanted to show you our cool kind of, we had leftover sweet potato tubers that were just the little tiny little fingery ones from when we were pulling them up. I want to show you what ended up happening. So we live in central Georgia, and it stayed warm. We had a lot of 30-degree days and nights, but it stayed warm enough that putting a little bit of hay over the little fingerling sweet potatoes that we left in the ground, they were literally just little roots this big, about as brown as my pinky, and we ended up having little patches of sweet potato that survived the winter and are still here, and haven't dug around a whole lot yet to see how big they are currently, but they gave us a way to start our own slips this year. Easy peasy. I'm going to show you guys how we did that. So as you can see, this is all the foliage from them, and I don't see any massive tuber yet, so they're just a little bit of foliage. But the really cool thing is you can actually start slips from just taking and breaking off some there, and you can stick this down in water and it will root. So I'll show you guys the ones we've done so far. As you can see, this was about a week or so of root growth. I am kind of re-hardening them off now, so they're sitting in partial shade, partial sun on our back porch for a few days. But these are just about ready to go in the ground, and this is a variety that we really liked. It's a purple skin with a white flesh. It's not very sweet, so it's a good substitute for like an Idaho potato. And we were able to save so much money this year because we didn't have to buy slips. We could just use what we had, and it was a grand experiment. Believe you me, I was ready to go out and buy slips if this didn't bounce back, but we were really excited a few weeks ago when we realized they were still here and we could start all those slips off of it. So we will be doing that. We're going to kind of plant in succession this year, and I'm just going to amend the soil right in front of this current patch with some new compost and let them really just get started with some really great compost, and they will be ready in about 100 days. Hope that's a helpful thing for you guys. Bye.